All right, Shalom. First and foremost, when I start this lesson off, giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Honors to our brothers who are firmly pushing the word in sincerity and in faith, and Shalom to the sincere believers. Now, this lesson is going to be based on this article about a garage fire and some brush fires. So, through the Spirit, I'm going to read this article, get some precepts, and Lord's will, you're edified. Says multiple departments battle garage fire, brush fires in Hopkinton Monday. No injuries. Says firefighters from multiple departments battled a garage fire and numerous brush fires in Hopkinton Monday afternoon. The Hopkinton Fire Department said firefighters responded to 100 Chase Farm Road for a report of a shed fire. When firefighters arrived, they found a garage engulfed in flames. Several explosions went off in the garage, according to officials. Hopkinton Fire said no one was home at the time. Hopkinton Fire said the garage fire later spread to nearby brush, causing multiple brush fires to break out. Firefighters worked for several hours to put out the fires, which burned approximately 4.5 acres of land, according to officials. Hopkinton Fire said the bulk of the garage fire was under control around 4 p.m., and firefighters were checking for hot spots early Monday night. Officials said no one was injured. The state fire marshal is investigating the cause of the fire. Yeah, and there's going to be a lot more fires that are going to happen. House fires, garage fires, brush fires, wildfires, especially as we get into these warmer months. It's going to be a lot easier for these fires to get sparked. 2 Timothy 3:1, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And that's right. And you look up the definition of perilous and it means full of danger or risk. And we are in those times. We are definitely in those times. Like I said, there's going to be a lot more fires. There's going to be a lot more earthquakes, a lot more storms and tempests, a lot more shootings and stabbings. Gonna be a lot more planes crashing and cars crashing and helicopters crashing. It's gonna be a lot more overall judgments of the Heavenly Father taking place on this earth. Isaiah 29:6, thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. And that's what happens. These fires get sparked and they just devour everything. They devour a garage, car, apartment building, a house. If it's a brush fire, a wildfire, all it does is just destroy. Just spreads and destroys. And in some cases, people do get wounded or killed. Because like it says in Ecclesiasticus 39:28, that there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes, and in the time of destruction they pour out their force, and appease the wrath of him that made them. And then in verse 29 it says, fire, hail, famine, and death, all these were created for vengeance. So fire is a spirit of vengeance. So when these fires happen and they burn down restaurants, destroy homes, destroy apartment buildings, when someone's car catches fire and burns to the ground, when there's these brush fires and wildfires, or a plane catches fire, or whatever it is, these fires are spirits of vengeance created by the Lord and used to execute his judgment to whatever extent that he wants it to be executed. And like I said, seeing as we are in the last days, these fires are going to get worse. They're going to get more intense. They're going to happen more frequently. They're going to cause more destruction, and more deaths are going to result from them as well. You got a lot of people that are happy that it's starting to get warmer. But what they don't understand is that when it gets warmer, these fires get more intense and these storms and tempests get more intense. There's going to be a lot more tornadoes and hurricanes and wildfires. Like, yeah, the weather is nice and that's all well and good, but there's the other side of that, the dangerous side of that. See, those of us of the hopeful elect, we understand that this is all the Lord's will. In Proverbs 22:3, it says, "A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished." And those of us of the hopeful elect, we understand that no matter how nice things may look, the judgment of the Lord is always right around the corner. So we're always being circumspect. Meanwhile, these other people, they're out here like, oh, the weather is getting nice, and they they just out here just relaxing and chilling, which obviously there's nothing wrong with that. But the thing is that they're not circumspect. People get off their, they're no longer on edge, when it gets nice out. People start getting too lax, too relaxed out here. And then judgment happens because people aren't paying attention. See, those of us of the hopeful elect, we already know that regardless of how nice the weather is, we're still in the last days. The judgments are still going to be popping off out here. So, like, yeah, you can relax and enjoy the weather, but you still got to be circumspect because you just never know when the Lord is going to have something happen. And you don't want to get caught up in that. Just because the weather gets nice doesn't mean everything's going to be smooth. There's still going to be judgments. There's still going to be, fires that are going to break out because dry vegetation and things like that. People tend to act even crazier when the weather gets nice. People drive more recklessly, which results in more car crashes. Just earlier today, I was out and the highway was shut down, and I'm guessing it was because of some car crash that took place. You know, so we always have to keep in mind that we are in the last days, and America still exists. So we're Esau is still here. These Edomites are still here. So as long as those are the cases, then judgments are gonna keep being dished out. We're not in the kingdom. So there's no reason to be getting comfortable out here. But with that, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rakakodash, the Wadi Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are still fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith, and shalom to all the sincere believers. Hope you stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up, and Adawan Ratzazah. Till next time, shalom.